Hi, I'm Will, and welcome back to Venture to Rome.
Meet HICKS. That's the name we've given to this early 1950s Bantam T3C trailer. My best buddy Chris and I bought it together with the intention of doing a rough restoration and then modifying it to give it a second life as an overlanding trailer. In our last episode, HICKS got a coat of bed liner, we seated our tires on Gladiator wheels and installed them on a brand new axle. Today, we're modifying the tub so we can install the bed rack and giving HICKS a coat of paint. Let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to be mounting up the angle iron right here, which will be the base for the rack. It actually bolts into the tub of the trailer, and we'll kind of show you how that's done. So once that's up, then we'll be able to assemble the rack with the right spacing, the side-to-side spacing on it. Once that's done, we'll be able to prime and paint the rack. And in between the coats of like primer and paint, we're actually going to paint the tub of the trailer. So we'll kind of alternate, and it'll give each one a time to cure a little bit. And hopefully, by the end of the day, we'll have a rack and a painted tub.
Know where to put the hole.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to be drilling through the angle iron through the bracket, and then the bolt will come out from behind this, and the bolt and lock washer and all that stuff will be outside here.
The tub of the Bantam trailer is a rounded edge on top, which makes it really hard to attach anything to it. So by bolting these on and giving a flat square surface, it's a lot easier to get the bed rack on. So that's why we're putting these on, and that's what you can see Chris doing in the background.
Okay, so now this is where it's kind of tricky, because these bolts actually feed from the inside of the stake pockets out, and then we got to fit the angle iron over the bolts without knocking the bolts back into the stake pockets, and then we're going to bolt them down from the outside.
Okay, so we ran into our first problem. This angle iron that we have that we're putting on here is like a smidge too long, so the bed won't close, and these the holes don't line up to secure the bed closed. And we think it's probably just because it's an old trailer, and things aren't exactly square with this trailer. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little encouragement. And when we say encouragement, we mean we're going to hit it with a hammer. So we'll see if this makes a difference.
Turns out we needed a little more than just encouragement, so we widened the bolt holes to allow for the angle iron to move a bit closer to the front of the tub for a better fit before securing everything in place. The left side of the tub fit nicely, no encouragement needed. So we drilled the holes, fed the bolts through the back side of the brackets, then carefully put the angle irons in place and tightened everything down.
Got these two angle irons installed on either side of the tub, so now we have this flat surface area to work with to install the bed rack. And so Chris, what's going to be the process for installing the bed rack?
We're going to figure out where we want the rack, we're going to assemble it, make sure it's all like centered, kind of mark where it's going to go here. Then we'll take it off, but it'll be fully, like, all the bolts will be cinched down.
Okay, let's do it.
We ordered the bed rack off of Amazon, and we're both excited to see the quality of the product. It's made out of aluminum, so it keeps the weight down and provides a good platform for adding molly panels and other accessories like a rooftop tent or anything else you'd want to put up there. After opening it and sorting through everything, we were really confused as to how it would all fit together until we realized what the problem was.
Many of the nuts and bolts and washers that should have come with it did not. And so we're gonna have to go to the store to buy some additional parts to put this rack together. So in the meantime, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a coat of paint on the tub of the trailer, let that cure while we go to the store and buy new hardware.
We chose a darker forest green color instead of the standard army green, and we're generally really happy with how it looked. Next, we headed to the store.
Okay, so we're back from the store. We're gonna get started putting this thing together and get it mounted on the tub.
With the new hardware, putting the rack together was easy, and we couldn't wait to see how it would fit on the newly modified tub of the trailer. The rack fit perfectly, so we adjusted it to how we wanted it to sit on the tub of the trailer, made some final tweaks, and then tightened everything down. Then we began putting a primer coat of paint on it. Our ultimate goal was to make the color match the tub to give the whole thing a really custom and cohesive look. Even with just a coat of primer, the whole thing really started to come together, and HICKS started looking more and more like an Overland trailer.
So we got a lot of work done today. We got paint on the body, we got the rack put together, we got the angle irons installed so we can put the rack onto the trailer, and next we'll be finishing up the painting. We'll be installing the rack all the way on. So right now it's just kind of sitting on, it's just a little test fitting. We'll be fully installing the rack on there, and then comes the fun stuff like molly panels, electrical wiring, different lights, different places, figuring out what we're gonna do with power and stuff like that. So cannot wait to get to the next phase, but it's really fun to see this thing start to look like an overlanding trailer, not just like a dirt hauler like it was when we found it. So thanks for watching. Can't wait to get to the next phase. Hope you tune in and watch that too.
In our next episode, we figure out how to install molly panels and stabilizer jacks on the front and rear to get HICKS much closer to the final phase. Stay tuned.